It's Mathan, and this is me redecorating my desk. Nothing fancy. But I've just had this desk for a very long time, and it's a little scratched, stained, struggling. Um, and so I'm gonna cover it up with some magic covering paper I found at the Dollar General. It was like $5 or $6 a roll. I bought two. This is a very long desk, so I knew one wasn't going to cut it. I didn't measure the desk before buying this, mind you, which would have been smart. Like, measure whatever you're covering, obviously. But I didn't do that, so I just guessed and I bought two. And it just so happened to work out. I don't know. So, I have a lot of crap on my desk because it's a big old desk. I like having all the things in front of me so I can see it. So I have to take all the stuff off. And it's like my makeup, lighting things that I turn on when I do my makeup, little things that I use on the day to day. I use it as like a bookshelf right now, like the end of it, because it's such a long desk. I can have a little mini bookshelf because I don't have one yet. It's next on the list. So this is me like trying to figure out the cord situation because I just have that power strip, but I don't like the way I have to position it. It's kind of annoying. This was me attempting to put my projector still on the wall so I could watch it. It did not help doing all of this. I just wasted time. But I was watching something on my projector and I was like, no, I'm gonna finish what I was watching. So yeah, now that the desk is cleared, I still can't believe I have this desk. It's really long. Gosh darn phone. Interrupting me. Okay, we're still going. Obviously, well, the instructions say to clean, so I just clean it down real quick with a rag and some spray. And this is when I decided I really can't, like, having all this stuff under my desk I don't enjoy. That bag is just filled with yarn. Just yarn. This left cabinet is my crafting cabinet. It's got my sewing machine, all the little things I use for all the different crafts that I do. So I want to like organize that a bit. It also has some like boxes of electronics that I bought. I don't really get rid of the boxes until like a year later, in case I want to return it or sell it or something. I have the box. Does anyone else do that? Does that make sense? I don't know. So I organized my craft cabinet a little bit better. And now I'm just like going, I don't know what's in this backpack. So I'm like, okay, that stuff goes in my closet to kind of make some more leg space. Because like I just had a lot of stuff under there. And I don't know why I put stuff under there. I just have like my health and beauty basket and like some cleaning supplies. This is like a trunk box. It was in the trunk of my car, but I didn't like it, so I just use it inside for that. So it holds like all the stuff I can't fit into my health and beauty drawers, because I already have two big drawers filled with hair and skin stuff and all kinds of other stuff. And none of this is organized. It hasn't been organized in years. And I've had a chaotic desk and I'm tired of having a chaotic desk. I want it to be organized. So this is me like planning out. You know, it requires a little bit of planning to put this paper on something. And I was just going to make sure that I like included the overlap when I cut it. Because I don't want to cut it and then like the sides of the table don't look the same as the top. So I was like, it's better if I wrap the whole thing so it looks like one cohesive piece. So this is be like measuring the lengthwise and kind of planning out like how I'm gonna fold it over. Kind of folding it over like you would do a Christmas present or something, like if you're wrapping something. And I thought that like cutting it would make it easier to get the air bubbles out when I like actually peel off the backing. And it was a pretty good plan. I would say this paper is a lot better quality than I thought. Like, for $6, I really didn't expect much. It's got this matte finish, the marble print. It isn't super detailed, but it's like detailed enough for $6. So, I actually like it. It's not bad. And even when I messed up, I was able to like peel it off without it damaging the table more, which I think is a plus. It was like sticky enough to stay on there, but if I needed to adjust it, because I did mess up this first length, it got crooked at some point. I don't know how. It got crooked at some point, and I had to re-peel it off, and I was really afraid it was going to mess up the desk even more, and that there was just going to be like paint on the sticker part, and now the sticker's ruined, But it unstuck very easily, and it stuck on very easily. I don't know what kind of magic adhesive they use for this product, but it didn't damage my desk at all when I had to peel it up and fix it. So that's a plus. I'm using like an old laundry guard to get the air bubbles out, and with my one hand I'm like getting the air bubbles out, and with the other hand I'm peeling the backing. But I'm not doing it all at once because I felt like that wasn't a good idea. Like doing it kind of slow to get the air bubbles out seemed to be the best plan of action. So this is me trying to line up both ends and realizing that I have messed up and that I had to peel it off and slightly shift it so that everything lined up and there wasn't any weird bubbles or weird crinkles in it. And when I realized this, I was kind of pissed off, not gonna lie. I was like, I don't want to fix this, but if it's not fixed, it's now or never. I have to fix it. And so this is me fixing it. And I do recommend to kind of cut the edges. It really does make it easier to get bubbles out. And if you line it up right, you don't really notice. So I recommend it. I think I have more bubbles on the right side of the desk because I didn't cut it as much. Like at that point I was like, okay, I think I got it. I don't need to cut it into sections so the air bubbles can get out. But I felt like maybe the looks a bit crisper. Like it folds over better. But maybe my eyeballs are lying to me. We never know. But yep, I'm just going down, peeling the paper with my right hand, and I've got the card getting the air bubbles out with the left hand. Pretty easy. It's just time consuming because this desk is approximately a quarter mile long. But I love having a big desk. It's so helpful when you're like sewing or you're cutting out fabric or you're like doing a really big project and you just have a huge desk. It makes everything so much easier because then I don't have to worry about messing up the carpet or something. But yeah, I finally got to like the second sheet after a very long time. I had to cut the footage because I can't make you sit through all that. But the second sheet was a lot easier than the first. I knew that when I grabbed two rolls that like it was going to overlap. But when I cut out the second strip, I was able to kind of finagle it and make it kind of look cohesive. I wasn't super worried about it because I put so much stuff on the desk. I don't think the seam is that noticeable. But yeah, I just kind of scooched it around until it kind of looked like it belonged together. Which with marble, it's really easy to do because marble streaking is pretty random since it's a stone. So I just had to scooch it around, and because I covered most of the desk with the first strip, I was able to kind of have that space to be like, maybe I'll move it an inch this way or an inch down, because there was a lot of overlap vertically. And I'm going, and I'm scooching down the desk. This was a labor of love. I knew this was going to take a while, but I don't know it was going to take this long of a while. And yes, there were still like small air bubbles and stuff, but there weren't any major ones. And I couldn't really discern the seam that well. So I think overall it was worth the effort. But I thought this was going to take me an hour. It took me well over like 2-3 hours. Especially because I decided to use the scraps from the rolls. Like, I cut out these 2 long strips and I had just enough. Just enough paper to cover the front of my cabinet and drawers. I was just like, hey, I think I could use these here. Then I was like, oh wait, that's kind of good. I should do that. So after fighting with my table, I had to adjust it so much. Like, the carpet is plush and it's got this support beam in the middle. And I'm like, is it straight or is it just the carpet plush? I can't tell that it's crooked. Because, like, once I put everything back on the desk, it's not going to be very light. So I don't want the support pole to be crooked and I have all this weight on my desk. And then one day my desk just crumbles underneath me. And I'm like, what the heck? So this is me, like, wrapping it underneath. Very easy. While this is a very long desk, the tabletop is like not even 5 pounds. Or maybe it is 5 pounds. I don't lift weights that much. But it's not that heavy. So it's really easy to lift up and get to the back of it to wrap the paper underneath. And see, this is me measuring and figuring out, like, oh, I think I have enough of this paper left to do my drawers in the front of this cabinet. That could be kind of cool. Then the bottom can match the top. And so I did that. This was honestly really easy. I'm glad that I did it though, because it looks so much better with the drawers and the cabinet also having the marble on it. Like, it looks great. All right, at this point, I was getting a little hot. Not gonna lie. It's getting a little warm. My bonnet makes me sweat sometimes. I had to take it off. But yeah, this is me just kind of... Why I didn't move the camera? Because I've been doing this for 2 hours. I was just ready to be done. The cabinet was pretty easy. With the IKEA cabinets and drawers, you know, they have like that kind of cutout. I just, you know, made slits around the curves and bent them inwards. And because it's like the inside of, you can't see it on the outside, it doesn't look bad. It's, you know, fairly easy. For the cabinet, I just kind of cut around the corners. And then I pressed down the edges with the plastic card because I couldn't find my X-Acto knife anywhere. If I could have found my X-Acto knife, this would probably look a lot better around the edges. But I think what I did was perfectly fine. And it hasn't lifted or peeled up or anything yet, so I'm not going back in with the X-Acto. Now that I bought another one, I'm not going back and doing it again. But now that I did this, I want to cover my nightstand in the same one because this nightstand is beat up. Like, it had a veneer on it and I thought it was wood, and I used duct tape to keep the drawers closed, and now they're ruined and my nightstand looks like it got into a bar fight with the dumpster. So I'm thinking about buying some more of this and covering my nightstand, which is significantly smaller and maybe won't take me my entire afternoon. So yeah, that's the next thing I'm wrapping in this stuff because it's great. For $6, you can't beat a complete desk transformation for $6. Like, look at this. I'm so happy that I did the front because it looks so cohesive. It looks like more modern than the original desk. And I really like it. I like the finish on it. It's not glossy. It's like a matte finish. And I think for one afternoon, this is like a really great DIY. Less than $15. And my desk is completely transformed and not dingy anymore. I love it. I absolutely love it. To complete the desk transformation, I of course had to go through and organize all of my drawers for once. So everything is organized, the drawers, the top. I plugged in all the cords behind my makeup, so it's like better cord management. And this is the full and complete transformation. I've got my makeup out, organized, my brushes out, organized, my lighting in one spot, my projector projecting, my underneath of the desk is so much more organized, and I can actually put my feet under it. And then I've got my little corner for books and things of that nature. And I'm absolutely in love with how this came out. And I'm definitely wrapping my nightstand next. Okay, bye.